Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming into another video. All right, so I ran out of space just like I did in previous videos I made earlier today. But we're talking about Malik Brown, continuing from the Malik Brown, Rafael Castro conversation. This is part 2 of that. Getting right back to the advanced stats. Effective field goal percentage, 0.648, which is really, really good. 0.227 for three-point attempt rate, which is not, it's average. Free throw attempt rate, 0.258, which is a little below average, and his NBA three-point percentage, 0.287. He is not a three-point shooter, not at all. Usage percentage, 12.7, which is really bad. Again, he's just not a very aggressive basketball player. He kind of lets the game come to him a little more than you want him to. But it's because he's getting lost in being a connective piece on both sides of the floor, exerting extensive energy where necessary, and ultimately letting his stars do what they do. So he almost falls in line with the game a little too much. You need him to step out and be more aggressive when he's really just reading everything that's going on around him and helping out where he sees the need to do so. 1.06 assist usage rate is excellent. 1.38 assist to turnover ratio is excellent. Like I said, this is one of the more gifted passers I've ever did homework on, not just this year, any year. This is a very, very talented passer, man. And I think that a good coach is going to explore using him like Draymond Green does to be more of a focal point of getting others in the flow of their offense. You think of teams that really need that stuff and need to improve their defense, this is the piece that comes in and helps you with that. There are many teams that could use this player. In fact, I don't think there are too many teams that cannot use this player. And if you have a team with guys like Jokic or like LeBron and Luka, guys that are already gifted in that way, he's just going to magnify what they do even more so by being a connective piece for them, an extension of them in regards to IQ. It's what he was able to do with Flag, and it was what he was able to do with Boozer. He makes those guys even better by doing what he does out there while they're out there doing some of the similar stuff. So it's incredible how well he played off of Boozer and how well he played off of Flag. He was great and out there with them. It's just an assistant and a role player for their superstardom, so to speak. And it's exactly what he's going to be in the NBA. PER 19.0, not so great there. Offensive win shares 0.068, not so great there. But defensive win shares 0.130, which is superb. Definitely great there. Win shares per 40, 0.197. Offensive rating 121.6, and defensive rating 87.2, which is above average. Offensive blocks plus minus 2.6, not so great. Defensive blocks plus minus 8.9, which is amazing. 8.9 defensive box plus minus. Box plus minus total 11.6, which is above average. So yeah, this is a guy who has some extreme strengths, but unfortunately he also has some extreme weaknesses. But the weaknesses have to do basically with three-point shooting percentage, free throw percentage, and just aggressiveness scoring the ball. But when you get him the ball, he's going to two-hand jam. He's going to two-hand jam. He's going to lay the ball up. He's going to make the shot 62% of the time. He's making just about everything in the paint when he does attack, which is why you just want him to attack more. But you understand within the flow of what it is that he does, you can beat it over the head a million times. They're going to have games that he walks away with like 3 points. And he played well, but 4 rebounds. The stats are just not the story there. It's sort of like Vanderbilt. He can really have a good game and only have 2 points, 2 boards. Because he probably walked away with about 3 steals, 2 blocks, and everybody around him was great. His blocks plus minus was excellent, that kind of thing. So it's just the type of player he is, man. Hopefully he can get around some guys that can kind of know what he is, be comfortable with what he is, and allow for him to take on as much of the load as necessary on both sides of the floor to improve the overall basketball team. I want him around smart coaches and winning organizations that can use what he does. Not a team that's so loaded that they're going to have him on the back of the bench, because that's a waste of what it is that he is. And when you do put him in the game in short amounts of time, that's not really what extenuates what it is he can do. So, and I don't want him on teams that don't have the greatest IQ either, because it's not. He's not necessarily going to do a lot of winning. He will help bad IQ teams be solid IQ teams, but having stupid players around him is not the best way to use him either. In my opinion, I want this guy in situations like the Lakers, like Denver, like New York, like Charlotte, where there's up-and-coming talent that can score the ball around him, or guys that are already established that can score the ball around him and could use a defensive improvement in one end, or energy guy on the defensive end, quick hands, deflection creator, 50-50 ball creator on one end, and then an offensive hub on the other end, who could not necessarily score, but find people consistently, like a Draymond Green. That's who he is. He can do that with the best of them. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry these videos cut in half. I just needed to create a lot more space. I did that, so we shouldn't have that problem if I make any more videos today. But yeah, they're spliced up and down this channel today. It just is what it is. But Malik Brown is extremely impressive. Rafael Castro also extremely impressive. Two lengthy, power forward-ish guys. I think Malik is probably a pure power forward, but I think you can get away with playing the three, so long as you have stretch fives and fours out there to create the space that ultimately he does not provide. That's the key to him. I wouldn't put him at the three if I got a non-shooting 4 and 5 or a non-shooting one or the other. Shooters must be on the floor around him. That's why I say a team like Charlotte, a team like New York, he would fit in because they have shooting on the floor with Karl Towns and OG Anunoby and that kind of guy, Luka and Austin. And if we keep Luke Kennard, I think he could basically play the Vando role. So that's kind of the vision I have for Malik Brown for now. So long as you could just be comfortable with him, not scoring too much, you can benefit from all the deflection stuff, all the passing genius. Vanderbilt, basically. And I think that's his work ethic in viewing tape can really be helpful to a coach trying to get other players to buy in. I think that there's a certain leadership that quality that he carries himself with, a certain seriousness in his posture. He ain't playing out there. He's serious about his craft. And I just think that could potentially rub off on younger players as he is a senior. So if you're trying to get young guys to really buy in, I think this is about somebody who can help them. You know, I would love to see him play with a guy like Darius Acuff. Acuff is going to need several Browns around him to help him with the defensive stuff, to get him in rhythm in his spots. So if I'm the team that's drafting Darius Acuff, I don't think it's the horrible idea to draft him Brown. Just somebody who can be a Band-Aid for his deficiencies, and just somebody who can be on the floor so he could score a lot and have it not take away from them. You don't never have to worry about Malik Brown having a bad game because he didn't score. That's not his game. He ain't taking shots away from anybody. So if you have a plethora of scores, again, Charlotte with their four-headed monsters of scores, you think about the fact that he's already played with Con Knipple. I think that's a perfect situation for him to come in, play some of that four-man role, and just get the ball to all the damn scores that they got. And then on the defensive end, improve their defense even further, for which is already an improving defense. I think he fits pretty well in a team like that. Yeah, man, elite scores. I would love to see him with elite scores. So that's what comes to mind, man. Big fan of both of these guys. Rafael Castro, it's just the question is, can you get away with playing him at the 5? Because the production tells you he could potentially be a starter, but you don't necessarily want to play him at the 4 because he doesn't stretch the floor. So you want him at the 5, but he's not strong enough necessarily or big enough to guard some of these bruiser 5s that ultimately he's going to be asked to guard. It's going to be a problem there. But he's going to produce. He's going to steal the ball. He's going to do some of that Malik Brown stuff with more sexy numbers. He's going to score. You don't have to worry about Rafael scoring at all. You don't have to worry about Rafael getting rebounds. You don't have to worry about Rafael filling up the box score. Per 36 minutes, he's somebody you want to own on your fantasy team. And so that's going to be the story. Can Rafael get to a situation that needs him so that he can be on the floor enough to impress? Because if you put him on the floor enough, he's gonna load up on the box score. He's gonna fill up the box score. So yeah, that's what comes to mind. Both of these players are excellent. I wish they stretched the floor though. That's the only thing. If they could shoot, they would be first rounders, both of them. So that's really what it is, man. I like both of them. I would love to have either one of these guys on my team for pretty much similar reasons. Defense improvement, man. Defensive improvement, rebounding capabilities, and just overall leadership on Malik Brown's part. I think he's going to be a leader out there. I think he's going to coach on the floor, all of that good stuff. So yeah, high on both of these prospects. Got to get some second round picks if you're a team that doesn't have any. Snatch you up one of these guys in this second round that have all this length and all this ability. And I'm telling you, if I'm the NBA in the world of Wemby, I'm going to make sure I get a Castro or a Brown or a Nelson. Some of these names, they're not getting the love that they deserve, but they got some real nice 6'10", 220 seniors that if you can find a role for them, they're going to be extremely productive, blocking shots, getting steals, dunking the ball, etc. So I'm high on that archetype anyway, and this second round has quite a few of them. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching.